Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Sean Higgs coming at you. Midday Money on a Money Monday, July the 1st. Welcome on into the show. Like, subscribe, ring the bell here on YouTube, Winning Free Picks, Sean Higgs channel. Twitter, at Mr. Sean Higgs. Come give me a follow. And as always, we are available in podcast form. Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google. I say Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Find Midday Money. We also have look headlines there. We got the Detroit Lending specials up. Like, subscribe. There you go. We got buttons. Promo code Midday for the premium stuff. If you want premium action on Winning Free Picks, go get it. Me or anybody else there. I got you covered there. Number 2 now in Major League Baseball. Not too bad. Listen, don't be scared of a 51% run in baseball because we take dogs or plus money, however you want to word them, up about 24 hundos. Not too shabby. Not much to report from yesterday. We didn't have we had the shows for the morning, mid-morning money yesterday, and look headlines. Didn't have any, 3 games today. Let's just get into this short schedule today. It's a short schedule of baseball. We made some banners last night here. Let me tweet out I got props. You know what? We got some baseball property plops today. Plopperoonies. 117 and 168 plus 2790. Ribbos on the horizon. We're going to this Houston game. I said yesterday, this is, it's an early game. Let's get to it. It's 3 o'clock. Yikety yikes. Sorry about that. We have Brown, and I like Hunter Brown. Rodriguez. Said I like the over yesterday. It was 8.5. Has ticked up to a 9 spot. Because I said we like the over. That's why. They respect all 50 people who watch live. Toronto, we're going Vladdy plus 170. Springer plus 195. 2 guys pretty hot. Vladdy's, what has he been? 455 last week or something like that. Springer, 625, 3 homers last week. He's hot. The PED, the Balcos have arrived. And Houston, just as a team, nobody really individually ripping it up. But you're going to give me some good plus monies. I'm going to take them, and I'll go deep. Yordi plus 140. Yanner 130. Jake Drake 195. Dubon 165. Pena 185. Chazzy McCormick out of the bottom of the lineup 235. I'll take it. I think guys will be on base. And that springs the whole little line going down. Also, I like I got 2. I'm coming up winner circle with Chip and Doug. Hold on a second. Got to sneeze again. I have so I know my landscaper at my fence, my gate. So now I have like a little gap in my gate part, and it barely reaches. So I got to go buy a new plank. So I've been outside screwing around, and they're cutting the grass all over the joint. So normally I do have some sneezes early with the allergies, but today extra special. So I do have coming up, I said with Doug and Chip, I got some props for tonight's games. If you want to tune into that, I'll tweet that out on Twitter. That link to the winner circle. We do that 5 days a week over there. But here we go for today's ploppity proppers. Again, not a lot happening. Not a lot happening. Saptio says, good afternoon. He's getting it. He's going Mikey style. Look at this. Michael Amato, good afternoons. Paul George to the Sixers. Yes. Chris Paul to the Spurs. Like, there's going to be a break side, an overhill player past his prime who is hurt. Well, that's what you got in the NBA now. I like the Thunder signing the Nick kid. That's a nice little pickup there. I thought Thunder were good. And as I said about the Wolves, like they kind of take their little step forward. As they did, they got past. Well, they got to the conference finals. I think the Thunder here are going to do the same kind of thing. Good breakout year. Bring in another guy. Here, a little elevation. I think we can definitely get Thunder to the conference finals. Why not? Why not? So I sometimes get on Mr. Numbers for his crazy let's risk 1,300 to 100. And I don't want to throw this guy out. He comes in the chat. Younger cat comes in. He knows who he is on Twitter. He sent me one last night. Risking $987. It won. It was the Yankees up 8-1 or whatever. Yankees minus 270 to win 1,300. So he picked up a couple on. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to bet a huge chunk or your entire bankroll for that matter on a minus 270 live. You can't do that. You can't do that. Have we seen teams come back from being down? How'd you like to lose that one? Oh my goodness. Look, I can't wait till the end of the season when Embiid and George are out nursing their annual injuries and get knocked out of the first round for the 6th or 7th season in a row. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be. Playing game, maybe like the 7 seed or something. Guys out. I don't. That's what do they? I'm not a Sixer fan. So the Stros were 140 last night, 8.5s plus 130. We are now sitting at anywhere from a 135 to a 140. The total is 9, so that moved a bit. The Mets and the Natties holding steady in the 110, 105 range, 10 even range. I do see some 8s coming in here for the total. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that one. Brew Crew and the Rocks. Gomber, Wilson. This move to about. I see a 145 out here. I do see a 155 total at 11. Listen. Gomber has not been good. He's not been good. Last 5 games, 5-4, 8-4-3 runs allowed. If you want to look at, they roll out his last 7 ERA on MLB.com at the 6.8. That's because before giving up 5-4, 8-4, and 3 runs, he gave up 1 and 0. That kind of lowers it down. You leave those other games in here, you're talking about an 8 ERA. Definitely nice start for Gomber. Not so nice since. Michael A's back. You'll have to listen to how terrible the George sound. Here we go. So listen, it's baseball. Listen, Sixer fans, you got the Phillies in first place. Don't worry about your crappy Sixers. You got the Phillies in first place. The Eagles should win the NFC East. You're worried about the Sixers? Man, can't make you guys happy, Philly. I get it. It's tough being the little brother to New Jersey with your bad cheesesteaks. I understand. Phillies are in first place. Eagles will win the NFC. And the Sixers are bad. 2 out of 3. What are you complaining about? Why not the Mets? Gore is bad. The Mets are on fire. Gore is not bad. Let's kind of rein that one in there. The Mets tagged him at the beginning of the month. Yes, we could say that. He gave up 6 runs in that outing. 4 and a third innings, 7 hits. That was one of his bad starts. That kind of bumps up his home batting average against. Otherwise, I mean, you think this guy's a bad pitcher? I think he's pretty good for a 25-year-old. I mean, uh, you if I'm the Mets, you want him over what Met pitcher you're taking over this guy? 25-year-old lefty? I don't know. 56 career starts, a 4 ERA, not bad. Just come finding his way. I mean, what? I like Gore. Patton says Gomber home game since May 10th. What? It's his first home game? Is that what you're saying? For the Gomber? Not a Goonie. He's a Gomber. He did face the he did face the Dodgers at home and gave up 4 runs 2 weeks ago, June 18th. June 18th. Stroh's Jays over the 8.5. I like the over. Listen, you see all the player props here. I'll pop them back up if you don't see them scrolling. Vladdy, Springer, Alvarez, Diaz, Myers, Dubon, Pena, McCormick. They're all up there. I like the over. I got 8 guys with ribbies. Mets crushing lefties. I got Mets team total over 3.5 early this morning. Best bet. I don't hate. Listen, the Mets are hitting the ball. They are hitting last 7 days a 280 clip. Not too bad. As I mentioned, the Stros the best hitting team in all of the land, which is crazy considering how bad they played earlier. Versus lefty, the Mets 6th best in the league at 265. 265 for the Mets. The Natties sitting towards the bottom at a 230 spot. And again, they already hit Gore. He should. I don't expect him to give up 6 runs. I don't expect him to pitch a 7-inning 2-run gem either. Colum should be enjoying the 4th of July in AAA. Dano, come on. I mean, he has not been terrible for the Orioles. Someone came in last night. Oh, the Orioles stink. Oh, the Orioles are in first place. They have a pretty good, if not arguably one of the top 2 offenses in the American League. I mean, I'm not just talking, you want to roll down stats on overall kind of stuff. 6-5 with a 4 ERA is not terrible for Cole Irvin. I don't know what you expect out of a guy who is, by all measures, since he came up with Oakland in 2021, a 4.24 ERA. Again, these aren't bad numbers. 3.98 ERA, 4.42 ERA. If you're going to have a fourth, and this is what he is, if you're going to have this guy who's a 4th starter, who's going to give you 30 innings, 30 games in a league of everybody gets hurt for 1 month, he's going to give you 30 starts, I guess, 32, 30. He came over in a trade last. I mean, they didn't use him last year. 24 games, 12 starts. They bounced and forth. He is what he is. That's pretty fine. That's a good thing to have on a team that's going to win 95, 100 games. And also, let's add in the fact here, Dano, what are we doing laying? Again, I said Baltimore. If I'm going to do Baltimore, it would be like a run line because Texas had been terrible. They had lost 6 in a row. Do you not think a team's ever going to win a game again? Is that going to happen? I mean, granted, and I say this all the time, I'm not betting on a team to start winning games when they lose 6 in a row. But let's not be shocked here that a team on a 6-game win streak or a 6-game losing streak beats a team on a win streak. When we look at yesterday's game, besides Texas losing 6 in a row, Baltimore winning 4 in a row, you had the Padres who had won 5 in a row lose to Boston, again, at home for the Red Sox who had lost 3 in a row. Detroit losers of 4 straight. Angels winners of 6 straight. Angels losing at home with their best pitcher going. And the White Sox, who had won 3 in a row at home, losing to Colorado, who had lost 5 in a row. This goes into my little tangent last night, Dano, about the Orioles using the depth of their AAA, AA, just the farm system in general. Go get Gausman or Bassett or Crochet or Fetty or whoever the heck is going to be on the block, whatever ace is out there. You have 3 starters on the injury list gone for the year. Go get some pitching, please. Go get Mason Miller for your bullpen. There's no next year. You're the Orioles. Oh, we're going to be a great team. We're going to win 95 games a year. All right. It is Bobby Bonilla Day, Bill. All over Twitter, the Bobby Bonilla Day. In fact, I enjoy the we turn it into a Chris Davis Day. Chris Davis today is getting paid $9 million. $9.16 million for Chris Davis. $9.16 million next year for Chris Davis. $3.5 million for Chris Davis from the years 2026 to 2032. And then from 2037 to 2033 to 2037, he gets $1.4 million. Not too shabby, although not the 100 mil that Bobby Bowe kind of rakes in his deal, but still a ridiculous deferred payments. And I think we talked about this at the start of baseball. We're talking about guys who are on crazy deferred payment that are still getting paid. There's a bunch of them. It is. If you look at somebody, you're like, what the heck? David says Louisville, the Louisville Bats, minus 140. AAA. Davis, he likes Milwaukee with Bryce Wilson. Pat says, I didn't bet the Brewers game, but as Rockies ran all over, it looks like a trap. Rockies off the big win. I'm going to do the Doug and Chipper, and I got a couple ribby props in this game. Maurice is in the house. Mets are the hottest team in baseball, but the books don't want to give us the Nats plus money. Looks like a trap. Well, you're off of, and again, same for Houston. Extended game, 2-hour rain delay. I mean, I was out at Texas Roadhouse at whatever it was, 6:30, and then the Met game was still on from 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you get extra innings, 2-hour delay. It's a what? It's an hour flight. Is it a bad spot for the Mets? Sure. They are hot. They are hot. I mean, what's there to say? You're, what are they? 6-4. Actually, the Astros are the hottest team at 9-1 their last 10. Believe it or not, Mets are at 6-4. A couple teams hotter than the Mets, though, Maurice. The LA Angels at 7-3. The Tampa Bay Rays at 7-3. St. Louis, ridiculous. Padres 8-2 last 10. But I know what you're saying. They have been playing better, and are they the better team? Right now, I like the Nats. I told you, I think the Nats are a scrappy little bunch. Todd's in the house. Good morning, Sean and people. Blue Jays today. Natties, they're fading the Stros Mets extra inning affair. Rockies, we're going home teams. Money lines and reverse run line on the Rockies. There we go. Just seems everybody's on the other side. Small change. I need to bet these big games. You're taking 3 home dogs. It'll be great. They go 3-0. You go 2-1. You're making money. You go 1-2. It's not a bad day. And you had action in all 3 games. I'll be fading from now on. First 5. Depends who he's against. You got to kind of look at. I know it's easy to say you just automatically do this. Like, oh, Patrick Corbin, fade him first 5. You want to go Kohler and fade him first 5. Who's he facing? How's the team playing? How's the team hitting? You got the pitcher matters, but also there's other things involved. 95% of the bets are on the Brewers, and the line hasn't moved a muscle. Rockies plus 130 with Gomber. I'm not going to say no to that. It looks low. As bad as the Rockies are, and they're off a win. Manny Ramirez is getting paid $2 million. Huh? When's the last time he played, Manny Ramirez? Syracuse Mets for Davis in AAA. Stros run line, Mets money line, Rockies game over. Rockies run line ticked down. I see 11s in that game now. Bill says, "How about the Mets? How about the over Mets Nats?" This one has come down. This total has dropped since last night. This was a 8.5, and it is now a 8. So I don't know. I'm not on that aspect of it. You kind of like the under. And also, when a pitcher gets hit by another team and they got Gore for 6 runs and 4 plus. I look for a bounce back spot. You know, wine time's in the house. Wine time. Here you go. I need your thoughts on your big drafting of Bronny Jr. Our guy T Money is high on Clay Thompson coming in, and you guys winning the whole thing next year. I said you'll win the in-season tournament and get knocked out after your playing game win. Blue Jays plus 120 at home. I don't hate this. Like I said about the Nats, you got the Mets and Stros off extra inning. Besides extra inning, you got a 2-hour rain delay on top of that. Michael B's in the house. Pound says I'm going to spice up the chat. Trump is now 150 to 161 presidency, depending on your books. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, he's going to face probably Newsom. 95% of money is on a Brewers. Only 3 games. Yeah. And that's the money part. And I always talk about, like, you have to have your thought process the night before the game. You can't wake up and be like, oh, look at the public's all over this one. There are 3 games today. This is like a playoff game, wild card weekend, NCAA tournament, whatever it is. There's 3 games. The Jenners are going to come out to play. Here we go. We're going to, head to the lab to cook here. We got to do something in the early game. Like, everybody wants to bet the Cubbies game on Friday at 2:00. I got a game up here on the site. I'm not, and it's more that I had to kind of put one up because, I get the email like, hey, people buy your package. You got to put games up every day. Well, if it loses, I don't feel bad, but I mean, I do feel bad, but on the same token, uh, I don't know. I want to win money. I don't want to bet just because there's 3 games on the board. Might take the day off, 3 games. If you don't like it, that's fine, Mike. In fact, in honor of Mike, if I finish my fence early enough, Mike, I will do some baseball cards today. I've been saying that all weekend. I didn't get a chance to. I had a bunch of stuff, other things going on. My guy, so Dan and his boys and his Jersey buddy went over to see the Doobie Brothers last night, and the Doobies retold his story on, I don't know how Instagram works or TikTok or something. He tagged them and they retagged him and they posted it out for him at the Doobie concert. 17 going Doobie. I said, you're the youngest guy by about 40 years at the Doobie Brothers stand. So Michael McDonald was there. I'm a big Michael McDonald fan. I was looking for some Jeff McNeil props, 6 or 7 versus Gore, and has been playing well so far. Yeah. I mean, I like Jeff McNeil. We made some nice money off him last year. Clay would be a good 6 man. He's not the same as he was. Yeah, obviously. But he'll go to the Lakers and start, which is a problem. Trump is the favorite scenario. At least it'll be entertaining. How isn't he not the favorite? What the? I think anybody versus Biden should be the favorite. What is going on? I mean, things are terrible. Pat says Trump's win of the values gone 2 months ago was 120. Yeah. I'm stoked for Dalton Connect. I don't mind that trade. That's a good pickup, I thought. I mean, he's a good shooter. Again, though, he's on a team that the head coach is really a 40-year-old GM on the team, or 39. Or it's LeBron is everything there. So it all depends. Yeah, it's like it's cool. I'm on the Lakers, but you're really, if LeBron doesn't like you, you're the problem, and you're out. Not super stoked for the NBA to come back around. It's just not the same anymore. No. You think, Doctor? It's a terrible product. It's terrible. Ramon Scott. I mean, I would be like, I'm showing Higgs. I'm pretty much going to put the plays up when I have a play. Yeah, but that's, Ramon, you can't, that, Ramon. I'll be like, oh, I had someone buy a NBA package and had a winning NBA season, albeit small NBA. I don't put out a lot of games. And they jumped on. I think I started out good, like 12-3 or something. And like nothing today. I'm like, it's January and I have 15 games up, and then like, oh, you got to put more out. And of course, I finish. I'll tell you what I finished. You gotta do this. So from a 13 or whatever I was early, let's see what I was up till. And this is the thing I don't think people get with like the you're self big whatever. So 61%, 14-9 into January. So 14-9 turns into 21-16 because here comes a someone wants to get on board, and I have to forced into doing things, and it ends up being 45-36. Again, not bad, almost 57%, but I could it have been better with less better percentage? But that's Trump at plus 120 in 2020. Rob, he says. Brian Nunn is in the house. Michael A. agree. NBA is terrible. I don't like. I mean, again, you see 80, 90 picks, 89, 91 picks of basketball for a year, and it really only got that high because when you're hitting at a you know lower percent, whatever you get on a leaderboard, people tend to buy it, then they want more. This is, I mean, I just I don't like the NBA based on the load management nonsense. It's just a bad product. I mean, I used to joke in the '90s. We'd be like, "Oh, here we go, NBA teams up. Everybody makes a run. It just collapses in the second half. It's just not it's not good. I mean, a year of NBA is what I do a month of baseball play wise. And like I said in here, Mike, I mean, you've been in the chat room as well. Who do you got in the NBA then? How do you bet an NBA game overnight, which I like to do, or before 10 or 15 minutes before tip off? You don't know who's playing. At least they switched it where it's like, well, you can only sit out at home now because no one's watching these games. Like people are like, wait a second, I'm paying X amount of dollars to go watch somebody visit my team, and then they sit out today because it's a back to back. I mean, you play 2 games a week. What do they play? 8 months, right? September to April is 8 months. I mean, they play 2 games a week. Who starts the ball rolling with the first NBA baseball trade? Well, we could say the White Sox because they traded Dylan Cease before the season, and obviously they still have to probably be the front runners to trade away somebody. But I don't know. Maybe it's the Marlins. I don't know. See, if I'm the Orioles, I think I win the American League. Seattle needs batters. Houston needs some pitching. The Rangers, I think the Rangers are in a position where they're just going to sit on their team and hope for everybody to come back. Cleveland's going to go for a pitcher. They got 3 pitchers with ERAs over 5. And the Yanks are bargain bin shoppers. These are not Yankees going out and making a big splash. They traded for a guy who the A's DFA'd. They're not going after Crochet and Vaughn. They're getting Josh Bell and some bullpen cat from Miami. That's where they'll go. They'll go, oh, what's over here? Oh, these are, CDs. This is, you could buy the 99 John Madden football for $4.99 in the bargain bin. Like you get all the old EA games for dirt cheap. That's where the Yankees are shopping. O's should be like, F it, bro. We're going. Let's go right now. What do you want for this guy? And you don't have to go high and overpay for something. Nobody's offering. Be like, hey, we're offering you this. What are they gonna say? We got a better offer? There are no offers right now. And let it leak. Or they're making an offer. Then you get other teams involved. Who wants to be involved now? The O's know they're in first place. People might think there's better combo than Burns and Grace Rodriguez. I don't know. I think they're pretty damn good 1-2 with that lineup. I'm calling Chicago and be like, what do you want for Kopech and Croquet? You want to give me? I'll take Vaughn. I'll take a Louis Roberts. Vaughn. I'll take anything you want to give me. What do you want? Let's make a deal. I'm calling the A's for Mason Miller, the bullpen guy. I got to get rid of Krimble. What do you want for him? We're not trading him. Then be like, listen, you clowns are playing in a minor league stadium next year. Give me the guy. You're a joke. You want some low level high A guys because you're not moving to a stadium for a couple years. No one's coming to watch you play, Oakland. What do you want for this guy? Baltimore should come out and attack. Put everybody else on their heels. Because the Yanks need help all over the joint. Cleveland needs a pitcher. Twins can't. I don't know what those kind of teams are going to do. Seattle needs a bat. Houston needs pitching. Phillies. I say Suarez and Sanchez are two guys who, to me, I want to look for another pitcher. I know Schwarber and Harper are hurt. I'm looking for another pitcher for Philly. I don't know if those guys are going to hold up the whole season. Braves are going to be looking for pitching. The Mets hang around. I don't know what the Mets are going to do. Dodgers are like the Yanks. I think they'll just go after whatever's available, and they'll go high end. I'm hearing what? Jazz Chisholm going over there? If I'm the O's, I'm attacking today. I'm calling up. Let's go. It's a slow Monday. I got nothing to do here. Make some trades. Like we have fun with Clay, LA fans. Great player for us. We can no longer defend at a high level. On offense, he's streaky. He'll give LA one of the oldest teams in the NBA. Ask the Clippers how that works. I agree. Stros are a minus 145 favorite. Mets are 115. That is a big difference. Yeah, well, that's because the Stros are facing a guy who's going to go 2 innings and give up 3 or 4 runs in those 2 innings. And the Mets are facing a guy who is a number 1 first-round draft pick, maybe what, the top 2 or 3 draft pick? I mean, he's solid. The guy, Mackenzie Gore's a good pitcher. There's the difference. You're facing a guy who was touted as the best prospect or one of the top 2 or 3 in baseball when he was in the minors for a couple of years. And Yariel Rodriguez is a guy who, in his starts, has gone 1 1/3 innings, 3 innings, 4 innings, 4 innings, 3 innings, and has given up 4, 2, 3, 1, and 1 runs, while giving up 6 hits in 3 innings, 6 hits in 4 innings, 6 hits in 3 innings. I mean, slight difference of the Stros being favored and the Mets being favored based on the pitchers. First time Trump ran for president, I said to myself, you know what? Let's vote for this guy. It should be fun. I mean, what's the worst thing could happen? Well, not bad, right? I mean, they promised World War III. No World War III when Trump was in office. Pretty good economy. Not bad. Just a world-closing virus. I don't know. Let's just get to NCAA. NCAA what? Basketball, Nate Dogg, or football? NCAA football is what? 55 days away from that Saturday afternoon first kickoff. First kickoff here. And I'll tell you what, I kind of like Georgia Tech here at high noon. Plus 13.5. I could get a 13.5 with Georgia Tech against Florida State. I'm not buying Florida State. You can't bet the NBA the night before because you never know what the starting lineup is. Yeah, that's why I don't like betting the NBA. Padres are sellers. I still delusional think they can be contenders. I think they're delusional because they're in second place. And they're leading the wild card. You were right about Bogarts, right? And you don't like Bogarts. He's out. Injured list for Bogey. They are in second place in the West, and they lead the wild card. Wild card leaders. San Diego Padres. That's what happens when you go 8-2 and have a 5-game win streak. It stinks when you go to a game and a player sits. I went to a King Spurs game to watch Wemby, and they sat him for injury concerns. Exactly. It's ridiculous. That was Michael B. Michael A says Orioles have minor league game units for trades. Philly have nothing. Not sure what the Yanks or Dodgers farm system look like. Dodgers are deep. Yanks are a little top heavy. I mean, they're not going to trade Dominguez, and plus he's hurt. No one's going to want to take him anyway. Yanks or anyone could have Ian Happ, hefty lefty. Here you go. You don't like the Cubbies. Looking for the Cubbies a deal. Last place Cubbies. As bad as they are in last place, they were only 5 out of the wild card. It's terrible. Dirt bikes is life. Stroh's Jays over the 8.5. I like it. Dirt bikes for life. And here are my ribbies. Vladdy for Ribby 170, Springer 195, Houston Yordi 140, Diaz 130, Myers 195, Dubin 165, Pena 185, and McCormick 235. I like the runs in Toronto. Always got you last night. A Sunday night favorite that is on a big win streak versus a team on a big losing streak. I get it. I get it. But you shouldn't have. In any, I don't know why you're laying 150 in a spot. Bill, I'm not. How many times I say it? It was over 140. I'm looking at run line automatic, so I'm not getting hurt when they lose. Give me the guy. You're a joke. Should be Baltimore's opening line to the. Yeah, it should be. Give me the guy. You're a joke. The A's are an absolute joke. You're playing in a minor league stadium next year. What do you want for the guy? Trevor Bauer. Why won't they sign him? Nobody's signing him. Although I did post out something because I believe okay, you weren't charged, you still got paid by baseball. The Dodgers still paid you. And then someone wrote, and I retweeted out. It was I forgot her name, and she said that Major League Baseball is hiding videos from the police of a crime. So my point is, if why isn't the commissioner under arrest for aiding and abetting? If Major League, because they said, well, if people see it, he'll be charged. Well, shouldn't the police already have it? So baseball is hiding this. Aren't they all part of a conspiracy now? This is an actual conspiracy, and I believe that's like a John Gotti RICO charge. If Major League Baseball and all their people are involved in blocking video and not giving it over to police, so he should be playing, or else he should be in jail with the rest of administrative Major League Baseball who are hiding the videos and have not given it to police, apparently. To a person who said they're actually involved in the case. They said, I'm in it. I'm involved in the arbitration. And if they come out, he would be in jail. The police haven't seen this evidence. Interesting. They're hiding evidence from the victims. I'd be surprised the A's trade Miller. That's their star attraction. Yeah, because they're just getting tons of sellouts, and they're really reeling them in out there at the Coliseum. Great job bringing in Jack. He's a star attraction. You know what? Let him be a starter. Let him pitch every day. He could set a record. It would be great for the Oakland A's. Wow, this guy started 75 straight games. He's an iron horse. Let him come in and pitch an inning every game. Everybody could see him. Stop you. Any chance we get a look ahead on tomorrow's pitchers? What do we got here for tomorrow? We got all the pitchers lined up. Flexen and Carrasco. There's a great matchup here. Well, this is why Cleveland needs a pitcher, because you got Cookie Carrasco, who's 39, coming out here with like a 9 ERA. All right, he's got a 5 ERA. Flexen and Carrasco. I guess, is that an over game? That'd have to be an over game with those two pitchers. Gibby and Keller, I would say under in the Pirate game. Red Sox, Cutter Crawford, some dude Bellozo coming up for the Marlins, who is a 24-year-old rookie. He started a game, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. And that was against Kansas City last week. In the minors, oh my goodness, 5 ERA this season, a 5.50 ERA last year. What do they see in this 24-year-old? Strikeouts, maybe 50. He's a strikeout to inning guy, which is normal today. He's got to be a little better than that. I don't know. Uh, maybe I just take that because he'll be like a 150 underdog. Mania versus Hertz tomorrow. The lefty for Washington versus Shomani. People hate Shomani. Ashcraft and Louis Hill. Here we go. Reds, Yanks. I'm taking the Reds every game against the Yankees. Arrighetti and Barrios. Strohs and Jays. I would lean under in that game, believe it or not. Barrios is decent at home. Arrighetti's numbers, they look bad. Again, you look at his total package, take out a couple early ones, and it's not as bad as it is. Birdsong and Lopez for the Braves. Here's a spot where you just want to see Braves run line. Hopefully they start hitting. Skubal and Woods Richardson would be an underplay for me, probably with Tigers and Twins. Padres, Rangers, Evaldi on the hill for Texas. Nobody for San Diego. I'd probably lean Texas there. Some guy Mercado first start for the Phillies. Here we go with their pitching problems. Cubbies, Wisniewski. Just for our guy Pounded, we'll say take the Cubbies. Rays, Little versus Brady, Singer, and the Royals. Royals at home. I'm looking at that. Royals in the over. Keuchel on the hill tomorrow in Colorado. Keuchel and Feltner. Get that over 11.5 because that'll soar to 13.5 with those two guys on the hill. Holy cow. Angels with Soriano versus Spence for the A's. There's my guy Grayson Rodriguez going against Kirby tomorrow. Nice pitching matchup there. Has to be an underplay. Ryan Nelson at Bobby Miller for the Dodgers game. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's your rundown, Gio. Mike A., what do you say? What do you think about taking a shot with the Rockies? I don't hate it. Fitzgerald Anderson. I see you like Florida State. You're a Hurricane fan. Listen, I'm a fair Hurricane fan. I think the coach is terrible, and I don't think Miami's a good team this year. No, I think the coach is a terrible guy. But okay, and why am I laying? First of all, this is I think they're playing in Ireland. Is this game in Ireland? I believe it's not in a neutral anywhere. A lot of hype on Florida State. And Georgia Tech's going to be a focused squad. Not much is expected of them. Don't just look at the name. And yeah, I'm an old school Canes guy. Hi, that's a Howard Schnellenberger mini helmet. All right. I mean, I'm not some young cat. I'm old school Cane guy. They are terrible. Terrible. Pound it. Padres go 8-2 last 10. Now they go 3-7. That's the way the Padres play because that's why they're a 500 team. Padres are always ready to make a deal. Make no mistake. Yeah, Ramon. They just can't get it right, though. Nate Dog, been wanting the Mariners' futures for 2 years, but won't buy any bats. I'm with you with them. I mean, every guy they signed last year, this year, they just can't hit. The pitching staff is top, right? You got a good pitching staff. You'd go to battle with Castillo and Kirby and Logan Gilbert. I mean, Wu before he got hurt. You got to like the staff. How can you not find hitters? Although I shouldn't say that because every lineup has 2 or 3 guys and everybody else is a bunch of 230 guys. It's terrible. Terrible. Flexen versus Cookie. Sounds like runs to me. I agree, Michael Amano. We got 2 Mikey A's now because Mike Abagani's back. Huge total Rockies game today. I think it's going to be even bigger tomorrow, believe it or not. I think tomorrow's total will be bigger and better with Keuchel and Feltner on the hill. Today's game, though, no real opinion on total. Sort of lean Rocks. Rockies total runs 11.5. Pride first heart lesbian. What is that? Lane says, Higgs, talking about to smash the like button. Hate the baseball slate, so I'll probably take the day off. I like the ribbies you got going. Yeah, sometimes you decide just, hey, we got some bad spots, right? You got the Stros and the Mets off of a 2-hour rain delay in extra innings. You really want to run to them. And then you got the Rockies playing like with a 150 road fave, 160 road fave. Attack it a different way. It's okay. Or just take off. It's all right to take a day off. Philly the biggest threat to Boston and East? No. They can only be considered a threat if they're healthy. And they're never healthy. It's easy to say, yeah, Embiid's great. He's an MVP guy. Paul George is really great player. They can last the season? They going to last the entire season? Same thing with the Bucks. Gonna stay healthy. I go if I'm not doing Boston, I'm doing like the Magic. Heck, I'll do the Knicks before that. Although even though they're overinflated with that team of nonsense. Stops you. You're welcome, Michael B. You have a good one also. Bill says about to lose my France first half play. Oh, we go on the in the soccer barbecue Thursday. Yeah, I'll be having some burgers. Not going to stop me. We'll still have midday money. Ramon Bauer's MLB stuff still, but hard to think it's good enough to overcome the massive negative publicity. Exactly. To just have a minor league deal. Um, are are there that many female fans, or will just be the media pushing Ramon? I don't understand. Michael Vick comes back from killing dogs. You paid the penalty, right? And this is anybody. I don't care what it is. I shouldn't say that. There's some heinous things, but you you weren't charged anywhere. The team is still paying you. Obviously, you didn't break any contract. What are we doing here? I don't. Whatever. Mike says, "I'm from Boston. What do you think of the New England Patriots? They're crap. That's what I think. A lot of people think they have the worst record in the NFL. Absolutely. Mega rainbow. What is it? Are you putting emojis? Are you on your phone? Bill McDonald says Knicks will be a threat. Listen, Mister Numbers is going to run in here when he hears Knicks talk. I can't. I don't. I can't have that headache talking about the Knicks winning everything in on July 1st. That's it's football season. We turn the calendar to July. Hall of Fame game is a month away. Let's focus on football before we talk about crappy NBA. Embiid hasn't been healthy since they drafted him. Neither has George. It's almost certain that one or both of them will have injury late in the year. Absolutely, 100%. There's something you could get the pen out for. Now they're going to get healthy after 7 years in the league or however long they've been playing. Sixers will keep kicking the Embiid can down the road and have zero trade value, which he has now. Yeah, there's. And I think we talked about this during the playoffs, right? I said, why wouldn't you trade Embiid and try to get something back and go around? Who's the guy? They got Maxi over there still. Who had the terrible shooting like of whatever that day was that Harris? Why not trade? I know it would be horrible and people would lose their minds over there. But what are you holding on to a guy for? You can't win a big game and you can't stay healthy. Trade him for anything. Rebuild the process. Trust the process that we're a 6 seed. I don't know. I think fans want more than the process is we make the playoffs and then maybe the guy's healthy. All right. I was like, yeah, because I see it shows like emoji, but I don't get the emoji in the chat. It doesn't come up emojis. All righty. Let's wrap this up. Well, we won't put a bow on it yet because the other Mikey A is coming in. NFL training camp. I love baseball. College NFL are my favorites along with college hoops. I love me some baseball because I could pump out 400 games, be 50%, and still be up thousands of dollars. Although I don't ever turn my nose up at NFL because I'm pretty good at it, as most of you already know from watching this show and looking at lines. Here are the props. Toronto, Vladdy and Springer, big plus monies. The Stros, quite a few guys because I got a starter in here who I don't like. He's going to go a couple innings. He gives up a couple hits, and the Toronto bullpen is not all that. It's the ugly underbelly, as they say. Yordi, 140. Diaz, 130. Jake Drake Myers back off his stint on the DL, plus 195. Dubon, 165. Pena, 185. McCormick, a little Chaz action, 235. And again, Springer was 195. Vladdy, 170. So big ribby props. But that's what we do. You see the payoff here, up almost 3 dimes, and we're 50 games under 500. You'll never, and they're always big plus money. So even if we even catch it 2 of these, it'll be a little, won't be a terrible losing day. We do all right even when we split out. So All right, I'll be back. Like I told our guy Michael B, he's probably going to lay off today's action. But I said if I finish with my little fence work, I will come in and we'll do some baseball cards on the Sean Higgs channel. But hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate everybody popping in today. One more from Mike EA. Seems if any athlete accused of anything, everyone comes judge, jury, and executioner, even if they're clear the right thing. That's the thing. It's out there. You hear all about it. And when everything's wrong, it's over, forgiven, or mistakes made, you hear nothing about it. That's the world we live in. It's sad. Who do the Finns sign if not Tua? Good question. That's the problem. You got to sign these garbage quarterbacks. The Cowboys got to sign Dak for $50 million. You got to sign Tua for $63 million, whatever he's going to be available for. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'd let the guy go and start over somewhere else. You can't win with, short of Brady or Mahomes, you're not winning with quarterbacks making 40, $50 million, $35 million. Daniel Jones gets $43 million. Yeah. Sleep on that. Ridiculous. I'll be back tonight. We'll chat later.